Good afternoon, everyone. This is the radio takeover with D Rivers, and as I was last week, I'm still D Rivers. Nothing's changed there. Greetings, everybody from the United States, Spain, Italy, China, England, and I think Australia has now been added. I was looking at my stats, and I have an Australian audience now.
Very
Isn't that
nice.
one? Yeah, I know. That's great. It's just, hey, growing leaps and bounds. And I also believe Brazil. There was a gentleman from Brazil who made some comments as well. So thank you. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And I have another special guest from the other side of California. I'm kind of like middle part of it, so to speak. And my guest is in the San Diego area. And as you could see in his background, he's a percussionist and a gadget man just all over the place. He is just, if you need something done in the music side and you don't know what to do, gadget, gadget man. This is Alan West. Hello, Alan, also known as, we're going to call him Gadget today, though.
How you doing, D?
I'm
Great to
doing
be on
good.
You're very good. It's good to be on your program.
Well, good. Now, before we even get started with any kind of questions or anything like that, okay, I noticed the hat here. You got to explain the hat.
Yeah, it's a COVID thing. It's I was bored. I made it out of duct tape. It glows in the dark and whatnot.
I like that. Now, you were explaining the inside. It holds contents.
Yeah, it holds a cell phone charger and dog biscuits and 9mm bullets. Whatever you might need. Snacks. You can put snacks in there too.
That sounds like a preparation type of a hat there.
Yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing and it gives me good luck.
Well, there you go. And I noticed you have some other things going on as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a little washboard. Got some goodies, some goodies on here for entertainment purposes because that's what it's all about.
Hey, I would agree with that,
You can't be too serious because life's too short.
Life is short. I've known you now maybe 3-4 years. I'm guessing, roughly. When we met, I forgot to mention that you are also with Black Market 3, one of your projects.
Right.
And that's where I met you. You all were playing at the Torch Club.
That's right.
And I had just finished leaving the Northern California Entertainers Music Awards ceremony. So I was in stage attire.
Right.
And I
said, who's this gal with the red dress coming in here?
And I walked in all dolled up like I was getting ready to hit the stage, and I saw you all, and I forgot who was at the door, but I asked the guy, I said, who is this band tonight? I wanted to know before I paid any money. You know how that is. And he told me, I think you'll like them. I said, okay, I'll give them a shot. Paid my admission, came in. And there you all were. And it's the beginning of a long, very long friendship from that point on. And I love Scotty and Roxy. They are just wonderful people.
Great people. Exactly. Yep.
And you are as well. And we've been friends ever since. So that's how we met. So, but I know you, but there's been missing pieces that I wanted to ask you about your musical career that I never really took the time out to ask. So that's why you're on here today. I want to know more about you on a musical level, if that's okay.
Sure. Why not?
So why music? Why? You could have. Well, I know what your other interests are, but why music?
It's just what I do. It's in my head. Can't make it go away. It's always beats in my head nonstop. Always. It's almost like a disability. You got to learn to stop the beats. The beats are always going.
So, can you tell me your very first musical experience as a child?
My dad was a musician, so I always heard music. We always had music records. My dad played drums and piano and all that kind of stuff. So guitar, he could sing. He was one of those kind of guys that could just do everything real good. So there was always music going on.
So, was it always drums with you? Do you play other?
It's always been percussion. Yeah, piano a little bit, but mostly all percussion.
So, what was the first song you heard that you decided, hey, this is it for me? I know this is it.
Oh boy, don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I just knew that the drums were always it. They're always going on in my head.
So, who are your influences?
Oh, they always change. Growing up, Baby Dodds, the drummer Baby Dodds was Joe Jones, Buddy Rich, all those guys, Gene Krupa, all the early guys, Sid Catlett. And then later, I got into Carl Palmer, Terry Bozzio. Those guys were just amazing. Great tone, Louis Bellson. All those guys had great tone. They had chops, but they had tone, and they put their stuff where it went.
So it sounds to me like you pretty much are not a specialist in a certain genre. You play across the board: soul, funk, blues, rock.
Right. Mainly blues. I've always been a blues guy.
Okay.
And I've always got work because there's so few blues drummers that really play blues. They always play way on top of the beat. Most guys, So I got a lot of work playing blues, and I love blues music. Traditional jazz.
Right.
But I love everything. And there's just not enough time to learn everything. Gonna run out of time, to learn stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Self-taught lessons.
Mostly just pick it up by hearing it, and nowadays go on YouTube and you can just get it for free. When I was young, I spent a lot of time with Louis Bellson. He was gracious enough to teach me a lot of stuff, and I would listen, and I would always listen to those guys. The old guys, all the old guys were the best because they came from a different understanding and a different time. And if you were willing to listen to them, they would teach you, and you could learn a lot.
Louis Bellson, huh?
He was amazing. Great guy. Great man.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I lived in LA near where he lived, and just kind of befriended him. And he was a big influence on me, drum wise. And he was the guy, put it where it goes, tone. It's all about having a tone, copping a tone, getting you don't need a whole bunch of stuff. You just need the right tone at the right time. And Baby Dodge too. If you listen to his records, New Orleans guy, if you listen to his instructional records, they were the best. That was the best of all time ever. You could get them for free on YouTube, but he tells you exactly, follow the band leader, come up, come down, put your tone, make it interesting, change it up, put it where it goes. Don't be just playing a bunch of notes. That's what I see a lot of people do nowadays. They're just not much going on. They're just loud the whole time.
No space,
and absolutely no tone. They got a pillow in the bass drum, sticky things on the tom-toms. It's just toneless. They're totally toneless. And the guys they look up to, like a lot of the big time guys are lousy, in my opinion. They have no tone.
So, just listening to what you just said, I take it that the phrase "in the pocket" means a lot to you.
Of course, especially in blues, because you're in a different. You can chart it out, but it's not gonna sound right. You have to really feel it, play it. A shuffle or a slow blues, you got to play it at the right time. The right feeling. It's a little bit behind the beat, and then totally in the pocket. Jabbo, all the funk stuff. Those guys were amazing. They were right there.
So do you have a large album collection, music collection? So how do you collect your music these days? Is it all digital?
I got thousands and thousands of CDs. Lots of records. At one point, I got rid of my record collection. Then I started again because I like records. I like vinyl a lot. So I got reel to reels, but a ton of CDs, actual CDs. Just tons and tons and tons of. I don't know where it's going to go in the future. I don't know what you're going to do. Some sort of little chip you stick in your head or something. I don't know.
So I've got to ask you, did you have one of those Columbia House accounts? Did you buy your music from Columbia House?
I did, yeah. I did do that. And then when CDs first came out, I joined this CD thing, and it was a huge catalog. They had a lot of Japanese imports, a lot of redone jazz records, and I spent a fortune on those. And they're gone now, but the company is gone.
Right.
But that was, for a good 20 years, I spent a lot of money on that, catalog, buying those things.
Sounds like myself. I know I've invested at least a 401k plan in music, just in recorded music.
Right. Because you why not? That's what you absorb. I steal every little bit out of it and absorb it. I'll listen to the same song 50 times and absorb it, and I do that all the time. YouTube is amazing because you can get all that. You can get all that stuff. It's amazing. Or the internet. Period. You can get hard to find stuff and just pop it up. Boom, it's there. I could be riding down the street on my motorcycle and boom, here's this song. Put it on repeat and I'll learn it.
Over and over. And not only that, you have not only the terrestrial radio now, but you have the satellite,
right?
Spotify, iTunes.
It's amazing. Your program, people are watching this nut job here with a funny hat. And it's the internet's amazing.
It is. So growing up, were you to get your chops to where they are right now? Did you compete in school, or you just focused on what you wanted to do as a percussionist? Or did you see competition as part of your growth?
Yeah, I was always in the school band. Any type, jazz band, a stage band, a marching band, whatever I could do, I did. And for a while, I was in Orange County, and the band leader there hooked me up with a job at Disneyland. So I worked as a drummer at Disney. That was a good gig. I played the conga drums in front of the Jungle Cruise line. So that was a good gig. Yeah, and it was a very it was a learning experience for me. And it was a great opportunity to do that. So, and the competitions, whatever you could do in school, they'd have the school competitions and stuff, and that was good. I did the Guitar Center thing later in life, and that was fun. I would win. You'd go to each little store or whatever,
right?
And you would win, and then go to the next one that they'd fly you somewhere. And I think I won some electronic drums that I had no use for.
Nice.
But it was nice. It was a great opportunity. So it's cool.
So how'd you handle stage fright? Because mostly everybody gets it. If you had it, if you had stage fright.
Never had it, and the only stage fright I ever get is if the sound man is funny, which happens quite a bit. That's the only. I don't really get stage fright. I just sound people. I don't much care for them at all. I really don't. I think most of them are complete idiots. I can't stand them. They just can't seem to get it right. I realize they got issues, but most of the time, they're absolute clowns. Good ones are amazing, but the majority of them are absolute clowns.
I take it you've had some interesting experiences with sound people.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
It is what it is. They deserved it. They had it coming.
From a vocalist, I can relate to that, and I know I've worked with sound people, and the ones that know
Right.
that the vocalist is supposed to be heard. Okay. And
Right.
you have your electronic instrument folks, the guitarist and the bass player and all that, it in some bands it's kind of like it's a sound contest. I'm loud. No, I'm louder than you. No, I'm louder
Right.
than you. And then they drown out the vocalist. So I kind of understand,
Right.
why the sound people exist if they know what they're doing.
Right.
When
they're great, they're great. If they're in the know, if the band's a good band and the band knows,
right.
If they're actually real musicians that know how to come up and come down and all that sort of stuff, and they can manipulate their equipment to make it work the way they need it to. You get a good sound man, then you're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, especially in recent years, I see a lot of guys like have a degree, they're a sound engineer, and they're complete. They just don't get it. It's just disaster, complete disaster.
Well, speaking of that, I think that they should be able to feel the music, or should, if even they don't have to play an instrument, be able to just feel it. It helps. Because a piece of paper is one thing, but actually getting out there and doing it.
Right.
I could be wrong, but.
Right.
But I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah. The good ones are great because they'll know immediately. They'll say, okay, they'll have their ducks in order and no problem.
Right.
But a lot of them, man, they just don't have it at all. And they have an attitude on top of that. On top of sucking at what they do, they have a bad attitude. And that's what really is rough, especially for an old grumpy person like me, because I just don't care. I really don't. I'm not going to have it. I'm just not.
Well, I hope you don't come across too many more. It's life, like you said. It's time to enjoy life. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Most of the bands I play with, they're easy. They're all tightly formed, and they know what they're doing, and it's not an issue.
Because you're with Black Market 3, of course, and then there's the Fremonts.
The Fremonts. I've been with the Fremonts for quite a long time, like close to 20 years, I think. And I play with Billy Watson.
Mm-hmm.
He's my absolute favorite band leader.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. I just don't. Nowadays, I don't want to do a lot of gigs.
Right.
I'm recording quite a bit, and I'm cool with that. I want to make my own music and do other things, stuff I never got to do. Playing tabla drums a lot, and I really enjoy honing, stuff that I haven't done. I never took the time to learn tabla drums properly,
Mm-hmm.
so I spent a lot of time doing that. and all kinds of different instruments that I didn't spend enough time with in the past. You know,
And speaking of Billy, he's a great entertainer. Matter of fact, I sat in with him.
he's amazing. Yeah.
I think it was near in Mendocino County in that area, and he puts on a show.
Was I on that gig?
You were.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's a real deal. He's a real true entertainer. Great guy. Great band leader. He has the ability to put great people together, the right people at the right time, and make it all work. And clown on the audience and clown on everything. I like that. Life's too short not to clown on. You can't take stuff so serious. You gotta
No,
have
you
fun.
can't.
It's just it's not that big of a deal. It's just not. So you just play music and enjoy yourself. And if you get a heckler or something, he immediately just cuts them down, and it's amazing. They don't even realize it. The whole rest of the audience. He's like a comedian. He has a true energy and a true skill to do that. And I'll dying and just laughing at these clown people that pull their shenanigans, and they don't even realize it. But they're just, they usually leave, or he really gets over on them, and then they buy a T-shirt.
That's the way to do it.
And they leave it. Yeah, exactly. I learned that from Louis Belson, actually. If you get a heckler, you befriend them, and then when they leave, yeah, that Louis, he's great. That's a real smart entertainer does that kind of stuff.
Yep. Billy's really, really good at what he does, and I have yet to see the Fremonts. I haven't seen you in that arena yet.
They're a real unique band, Swamp Blues.
Hmm.
They're like family, to me. Great people.
And you all play in the San Diego area for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. I'm actually, 200 miles north of San Diego. I'm in the high desert. So I'm like about 200 miles north of there.
Right.
So a gig for me is like now, it's like a 3 or 4 hour ride, getting down there. So that's another reason I'm not into doing too many bar gigs.
Yeah.
Fremonts, I would ride cross country to play with them because they don't play that much, and they're the Fremonts.
And I got to throw another plug in because you also introduced me to Old Town Blues Club. And
Yeah, Andy's a great guy, great person. That's a great club. That's one of the clubs I'll play no matter what because it's just a great vibe. And he really struggled through the whole COVID thing, and he's a solid human being.
he stayed on top of that. I follow him on Facebook. He stayed on top of every nook and cranny. So he deserves every bit of the opening.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Andy's great.
he is.
Absolutely. A great person, great club. They expanded it, made it a little bit bigger, put a patio. But it's a great thing because people can come in from the street that never heard that kind of music, and they dance. They like it. It's good. It's a good show.
And
It's a good vibe.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a good vibe. The place is a good vibe.
It is, and it's in a good location too. Because right when you hit Temecula,
Correct. It's in Old Town Temecula.
it's a good location. So hello, Andy. There's your shout out.
What's going on, Andy? I actually did a live stream with a band. I can't remember their name right now, but he did a live stream, and during the COVID when he couldn't have crowds, but he still paid a band, still did a show, and he's a stand-up guy. The Honey Lickers, that's what it was. I played with a band called the Honey Lickers.
I've heard of them.
And they're really good people. And the guitar player, Chuck, oh boy, I played with him when I was like 19 or 20. And
Okay.
we lost touch, you
Yeah.
know, and then I found out he's a guitar player. So then we, you know, pretty awesome thing, you know, to see him again and play with him, play gigs with him, and now I'm in touch with him. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, great guy.
So how'd you end up? Because I got to bring it full circle now, because now we're going to talk about Black Market 3.
Mhm.
How'd you end up with Roxy and Scotty?
I was doing a gig with the Fremonts in San Diego, and I didn't know who they were, and I was loading my drums on my bike behind the place, the gig we were at,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they just introduced themselves, and they were nice people. They were kind of, you know, clowning on me a little bit because I was putting drums on my bike, and that's how I got to meet them. You know, I didn't even see them play, but I actually hired them. I got in touch with them and hired them to play a gig up here in my neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
at the VFW, the local VFW. I try to help them out. They're really good people.
Mm-hmm.
Billy's played there. The Fremonts have played there many times. I'm in a small town up in the mountains, in the high desert. So
Right.
the VFW there, they're great people. And so I hired them to play. And then I sat in and would play percussion with them. And they liked it. I think they liked the percussion idea. And then I hired them again to play here, where we're at now,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a little mini festival that I did. And I built the stage, and we had a bunch of really good bands actually here, some local bands and some touring bands, and they were the headliner.
Okay.
And that's how I got to. And then they started hiring me, and I started touring with them and recorded. They recorded here quite a bit. They stay here and record percussion for either them or for their clients.
Mm-hmm.
So anything percussion, you know, here they can record here pretty easy. And we
Well,
did a
you're
video. We did a couple videos here actually. That was a
and,
really lot of fun. A lot of fun. Doing videos was a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
and where can we see these videos?
YouTube, go on Black Market 3. There's a ton of them. I believe you just click on Black Market 3, Black Market 111.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of videos. There's a David Bowie cover video we did here,
Oh,
and
yep.
that was a lot of fun. A lot of work, a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans.
So, what was your best experience being a percussionist that you can think of and just go, oh my goodness, I'll never forget that? Do you have one of those? Do you have a moment like that?
I got to play with Pancho Sanchez one time and Tito Puente at the same time, and that was pretty cool. They're great people, both great people, and they're
Right.
both huge influences on me growing up and in the neighborhood. When I lived in LA, I'd hang out with them. The Banda Brothers, I'd see them all the time.
Right.
Just great people. His rhythm section's, you know, amazing. That was a good time. That was a great experience. At the time, I was playing with James Harmon. I played with James Harmon for quite a long time. He just passed away.
I thought the name sounded familiar.
Yeah, he just passed away recently this year, and I toured with him. I played in his band for quite a while.
Right.
Toured with him, played on his records and stuff, and we would do festivals and things where I would be in contact with. Like that was a Millennium Festival or something in 2000 when everything was supposed to go to hell.
Right.
Y2K or whatever it was. We did this big festival in LA, and I got to, you know, that's when I got to see those two. And that was a great experience.
So do you teach?
I could, I suppose, once in a while, if somebody wants to learn something, I'll teach them.
Mm-hmm.
If they listen, you know, I'll teach them. If it's something I know, if they want to learn. I usually just point them to videos. Hey, listen to this, or listen to this record. That's usually what I do. If you listen to this record, you'll learn it. all the time I get guys, oh, I can't do a shuffle like that, or I can't do a jump. A lot of the guys have a hard time with shuffles and jumps, and they're sticking, the proper sticking. And I said, well, listen to the Sid Catlett. Listen to this record, and you'll get it. If you just listen to the record, you just steal what he does, and repeat it. That's all I do. I steal from everybody. Everybody I can. I steal whatever I can from them and learn and make it my own.
Right.
That's just how you do it. I think that's how it's always been done.
I'm sorry for the look on my face, but I'm like, what was that noise? But I think it's my neighbor. I'm like, I heard this noise that went, whoa. Like, what is this?
I don't think it was on this end. Your video screen is just still right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so is yours. Now, am I moving now?
Nope.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Am I moving?
Yes, you are.
Okay, you're not moving on mine.
Okay, but you can hear me okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll just keep it moving, I guess.
You need a fortune cat. It's some good luck.
So what are some of your favorite venues? Because, we were talking behind the scenes. I know you like festivals, playing festivals and such.
Yeah. I'm not into doing the bar gigs anymore. Festivals, I'll book festivals, blues festivals and that kind of thing. Old Town Blues Club, I'll play there with anybody, anytime. That place is great. Certain places like that I'll do. There's a place up here called the Big Rock. It's an old roadhouse.
Okay.
And, it's a biker bar. We do bike runs we raise money for the local animal shelter.
Okay.
We get truckloads of dog food and dog supplies, and that's a pretty good deal. I like doing that kind of stuff.
Am I moving now?
Nope.
Wow. Gotta hand it to the duck.
Yeah.
Maybe
lemonade.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, get your sip of lemonade. I'm gonna take a cheers.
That's some lemonade.
Yeah. So this is the time where, if there's anything that you want to discuss, I'm out of questions. I'm off script now. I'm off script. So is there anything in particular you want to discuss?
I think you should do your own. You should do a podcast on yourself. That's what I think you should.
Is that right?
Yeah, you should do one you just interview yourself. And that way you can get your whole story out there.
I have to, like the split screen that we have right now, have me on one side and me on the other side, me answering myself.
Get a clone. Yeah, exactly. Clone yourself and do that. I think that's what you should do.
This is fun. Other than the, occasional glitch, that goes with technology. I like this a lot because, I'm like you as far as the bar scene and such. I've been in that scene for a very long time.
Right.
I'm winding down in that.
Right. Me too.
I don't want to do it anymore. It's what it is,
Yep, I agree. I think the YouTube stuff is amazing. I haven't had a TV in years. I chucked my TV in the snow a couple of years. Scotty was actually here, and we threw my TV in the snow. Big flat TV. I don't use this stupid thing. Throw it away. It's all junk on there. And news. I don't watch news. I
don't either.
I watch the news. I watch Black Dragon Biker TV news on YouTube every day. I watch all the biker channels, the good ones.
Right.
That's about it. I just want to ride motorcycles and do my thing. I don't want to be bothered with society, and stupid nonsense. It's just not enough time.
I posted a picture of your bike and with your gear on your bike, and I've seen you personally put that together.
I think that picture that you have, that was is in front of the big windmill thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was that was a full drum set and congas, a little mini marimba. That was a lot of stuff. I don't usually carry that much stuff, but that particular gig was a lot of stuff, and it works. You can split the lane and get there. If I had to drive a car, forget it. I would never do gigs ever. It'd be such a hassle getting through traffic and lugging equipment. And on a motorcycle, you can just park where you want usually, and I can get through traffic, split lanes, do whatever, and get there on a reasonable time. It still takes a while. Like to San Diego, the traffic sucks. People drive completely stupid. LA, I did a gig in Beverly Hills recently. Man, it's just nuts. It's completely nuts. People are smashing into each other. They're not paying attention. They're nuts. So you got to avoid them and dodge them. To me, it's safer on a motorcycle because you can get around them.
Right. And you just recently played at a very famous restaurant in Beverly Hills.
That was Spago's restaurant. Yeah, they were actually fantastic people. I got the call to do the gig, and I'm like, I don't do bar gigs anymore. I appreciate the offer, but I figured, okay, I'll do this gig. It was a really good paying gig, and nice people. Rick Reed, the bass player, I knew him. Gary Allegretti, I didn't know him, but he was a great guy, great harp player. The band was great, and the people were amazing at the venue. Not what I expected. And the patrons, they were what you would expect. They were like Hollywood people and sports people, and it was interesting. The parking and the homeless people everywhere was really weird. $500,000 cars sitting in traffic next to homeless people. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. But the gig was great. It was a great gig, and I would do it again.
Now, I posted a picture of you, and it was you were sitting next to a gentleman. I think you had a sitar.
Was I green like a reptile?
Yeah.
Where we at? I identify as a reptilian migrant now. So, yeah, what is it? I identify as an interstellar reptilian migrant. So I'm trying to get the government to give me a free heat rock.
Oh God!
Some heated bar stools. Like if you're a reptilian, you should at least get a seat at the bar with a heated bar stool because they're reptilian. Yeah, that was Victor Crane. I don't know if you know Victor. He's a great guitar player. He was in the video. That was a Fremont. That was a Black Market 3 video.
Okay.
And, I was this reptilian space daredevil character, and I was all green. And I don't know why I was playing a sitar in that picture. I have no idea. But Victor Crane was in there, and he was actually in the video as a mad scientist. He was not aware of that until he got here, and they put makeup on him as they did me. And that's what we did. I ran a motorcycle through a ring of fire for the video, and it was great. It was a great time doing all that kind of stuff. So that's why I was green. If I could be green all the time, I probably just would. If they had a Michael Jackson way to make myself green, like not makeup, but just totally green, I would totally do it. Just be a lizard person.
And I take it this video is also on YouTube with you being green.
Yep. That's yes, it is. And Roxanne. There's a scene where I'm turning into this monster, green kind of guy, and I'm in a box with a smog machine in there, and I can't breathe, and I'm busting through the box, and I got these long nails, and Roxanne super glued them on with a lot of super glue, and I had long nails for a while. Yeah, the hands are in there. It was fun doing that. Scotty's amazing. Scotty and Roxanne are amazing people, creative, and they know how to make stuff get done one way or another.
That would be Scotty Glenn, who plays a pretty mean guitar, and he's pretty mean. I mean, he is. I watched him when I met you at the same time here at the Torch Club. And I went up to the bar, and I know the owner there, of course. I'm like, I told her, I said, they're good. I'm like, you need to bring them back. And she's like, oh, this is not their first time here. They've been here all the time. I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure because I mean, just you all were just so good that night. I was
Well, thank
impressed.
you.
I wanted to follow you wherever
Well,
you were going. And I think you all had a private gig in Nevada the next night, and it was private, so I couldn't go. But I was ready to, hey, gas up the car like the Pied Piper, just go through. You all have that kind of vibe.
You would have been fine. You would have been fine anywhere.
And it was just a lot of fun. And like I said, that's Scotty Blinn. He plays again a mean guitar, lead guitar, and he sings. And his wife, Roxanne Coverdale Blinn, she is the bass player.
Great people.
In Black Market 3. She's a sweetheart, and she sings too. And she sings in Spanish as well as singing in English. And she does a great job with both.
That's right. And Joe Hager is a drummer. He's in there also.
Now,
there's actually two drummers.
That's right. Okay.
And I played more percussion. I'll play more percussion end of it. And a lot of gigs I can't tour with them. They're always in Europe.
That's right.
I can do, minimal touring.
Mm-hmm. I haven't met Joe yet.
Great guy. He's been here a bunch of times, recorded here.
Okay.
On the drums, right over there.
I'm looking in the background. I'm looking at your drum kit, and you're in your recording studio. That's a nice setup.
Thank you. Every room, there's no furniture. There's a bar. Every room has different percussion instruments, like timpani drums, and vibes, marimbas, any weird percussion that you might want, I got.
And it looks like bells, like cymbal. Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple gongs I think you're seeing. Timbales, and that's a real weird. That's a real odd setup there behind me. That's like a big 26-inch bass drum.
Right.
A lot of Brazilian drums, Cuban drums. Just kind of I use that quite a bit for a lot of things because it sounds great.
Am I moving now?
No, you're not. You've never moved.
Really?
Yeah.
Just in the frozen.
You're frozen. Yeah, I gotta. Maybe that'll. No.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna let you entertain the audience while I step out for a minute.
Uh-oh. What are we doing here? How about some Aztec death whistle? Why not? Got a little washboard. Oh my goodness. What else we got? I think we got a shrunken head over here. Yes, indeed we do. Shrunken head. Full size or not? It's not full size. He was a trophy hunter, but now he done got shrunk, so he's no longer full size. Yeah, you can see behind his beard, he's a trophy.
Goodness.
Trophy hunter. So trophy hunters, unless you're hunting for food, you might turn into a shrunken head.
Can you see me now? Can you see me moving?
You move for like a second, and now you're like this, but you're not moving. You did move, but now you're not moving.
Oh,
don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, it looks fine on my end, so I don't.
If it's moving on your end, then you're good.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'll just be frozen in time on your end. I guess.
There you go.
So what's in store in the future for Gadget musically?
I want to make just doing what I'm doing. I ride motorcycles. That's my main thing. And I like to do a lot more Brazilian music with a full group, like a 12-person group. I have a group called the High Desert Boogaloo, which is mostly a drum group. But members come and go, and it's really hard to keep that together for obvious reasons.
Right.
But when it happens, it's pretty awesome. We do like a second line, like a parade type thing, and I've done that up here a couple times. It's pretty good, a lot of fun. A lot of the people that don't want to be involved in it,
right,
they keep bugging me to do it again. All the tough guys at the bar are like, what are these guys doing? They always want to do it. When are you going to do that drum? They call it a drum parade. When are you going to do that drum parade thing? That Mardi Gras thing. So people like it. They do like it. And that's what I want to do. Stuff like that, and make more videos. That's a lot of fun. I got plenty of property and props, and I want to eventually make a full movie, like a homemade movie, action movie. But that's going to take some time. But I'll have time if I don't do bar gigs, because bar gigs take up all my time.
They do tend to take up a lot of time.
Yeah,
especially in your case, in being a percussionist, set down. I know you've got your routine down, but it's still a lot of work,
Yeah, the main thing for me is just getting there. I was doing like 5 gigs a week, and almost always they're always in San Diego. The gigs that pay are in San Diego, or it seems like LA and Orange County, they just don't pay for some reason. So that's closer to me, but they don't pay. Biker gigs, I'll do, different bike clubs will hire me to put a band together, and they pay good, and they're fun, and they're good people. I play for any bike club. Those are more fun to me than anything. Being around bikers is more fun to me.
I have to agree with you on that. If I were to go back out again, definitely biker clubs, because they do treat musicians well. For the most part, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing dumb stuff,
Yeah.
Everything's cool. And you get paid good, you get treated good, and what else you want?
I've played for several biker clubs out in California, and definitely when I lived in Georgia, there's a lot of, and I mean, they treat you so well. They, like I said, they pay you well, you get fed well. They, put you up in a nice place, safe place, and protection. And you don't have to, you're safe. You're safe with it. You're not doing anything stupid. Right.
Exactly. Just common sense. If you're not a knucklehead, everything's going to be cool. That's how it should be anywhere. To me, but that's just me.
I love playing. Yeah, biker clubs is definitely, I would make an exception, but festivals and, maybe auditorium type style things, maybe, but the boss,
right.
I'm personally done, because like I said, I've done it a very long time. I'm not knocking it. It's just that my time for it is come and going. It's my season is come and going.
That's how I feel as well. Same thing for me.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's time to let the new generation come through.
Right. Right.
And I've seen a lot of because this show here, I have a pretty good following of people who are younger than me, significantly younger than me, and they're musicians, and they watch the show and they get tips from people who are on.
Right.
And there was a show I saw back east. Angel Brown's her name, and Faith Heath, and they're younger people. They're younger than me, and they had a show last night, and it was a good turnout. And it's good to see that. It's good to see younger people than me, come up and they find their way and
right.
And it's the circle of life is what I call it. I don't know.
Right, I agree. And the young people, I know myself personally, I've been learning from young people lately, like I was telling you the other day, the hip hop music. I don't know anything about it. I mostly listen to classical music. When I'm just bebopping around or on my motorcycle, the music in my helmet is almost always classical music. or like movie soundtracks or something like that. And it's been an eye opener for me to hear a lot of young people, or even guys in their 30s, that they're moved by this music that I don't know anything about. So I'm learning from them, and I really like that. And I'll teach them stuff, and they're embarrassed. They'll hear sketches of Spain on my motorcycle. Has speakers on the motorcycle.
Right.
I got Miles Davis on there, and they're like, what the hell are you listening to? They totally don't get it. But I say, hey man, you should listen to this. Check it out.
Right.
And then it opens up their eyes to things that they never saw before. How can you not like Miles Davis? It'll open your eyes.
And it's never too late to learn from them.
Right. I'm learning hip hop music. It's something I thought I would never. I know nothing about it at all, and I like the beats. The beats is what I like.
And we talked about this behind the scenes too, because once you get the hang of hip hop, those beats down, you'll be in high demand.
Cool.
They'll be calling you left and right. I need this beat. I need that beat. And
send them my way, and I'll throw in like Afro-Cuban beats along with their beats, and then they'll mix them together and go, hey, that's pretty cool. That's a new thing.
Oh, nice.
That's these tabla drums from India. That's pretty cool. That's something they may not know about. And then they can mix it all in, sample it, and do whatever they do.
See, there you go. See, we just created you a new career on this very show, right? There's another career you've got.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Just get ready. Your account's gonna be overflowing with requests.
That would be nice. That would be real nice.
From the hip hop community. That
would be interesting.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to talk about musically? We have however much time you want to have. My interviews usually on average, they run about an hour, but the longest interview has been 3 hours and 28 minutes straight.
It's an honor to be on the show. I think this is cool. It's an interesting time we live in, obviously. I find myself totally getting out of society and not getting away from technology, but society for sure. I'm just doing my own thing, and that's it. Do your thing. I think people should just do their thing, not get caught up in any nonsense, and make some good music. And use the technology, like your show, like YouTube. It's free. You can there's so much great music for free. You just gotta look it up and be open-minded and learn from it. Make better music in the future with all these different music genres put together.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I think that's about it. I think it's time to get some lemonade. This comes from the local pretzel guy. He's this pretzel truck, and you can ride up to the truck like it's a genius idea. It's a truck, so he's mobile. He can go anywhere. He's not stuck. He's like a nomad pretzel man. So he's got music on the truck, and he parks, and you can literally ride up like a drive up, McDonald's or something like that. And he's got amazing food and lemonade. So that, and it's a drive-through. So I like that kind of stuff. I think it's cool.
So am I moving now?
Nope.
Wow.
Negative.
That's technology for you.
Where's it going to be in another 10 years?
Ooh.
If we don't kill each other, if we don't have a total meltdown.
I saw the recent, I don't know if you're a gamer or not, but.
No.
Okay. I saw the recent Grand Theft Auto game. And it has changed. My son used to play it a lot. And
my nephews play that.
Back in the day.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, right.
And I saw it recently. It looks like the characters, there's a Michael Jackson character in it. He's
Mm-hmm.
moonwalking and doing all this stuff, and then he punches he lands a mean right hook and will knock you clear across the desert. I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they're so lifelike. It's like you can almost reach out and shake hands with them. I mean, the technology is
Right.
just, I couldn't believe it, and I was almost tempted to get an Xbox or whatever they play it on now, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
the last thing I need in the house is an Xbox.
You need to get you some SM58 nunchucks,
Oh,
microphone nunchucks. That's what you need. That's what I'm thinking you need, and some gizmos like that.
oh gosh, I could see that now. They'd be being a singer. Here we go. Extra
Mm-hmm.
get the diamond studded, crust encrusted.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yep. Connect them with cables with their nunchucks. Oh yeah, you can get away with anything like that. You're D. Say, hey, I'm a singer. I didn't cause any problems. It was him over there, not me. Oh, oh.
What was the name of that character? I should have wrote it down. The character we were talking about with the nunchucks. Oh,
Mm,
oh,
can't remember.
I can't remember it. I should have wrote it down, but it was great. So when you do your movie, you got to
Oh,
let me know.
you got to be in it for sure. You're gonna definitely be in it. You're actually there's a scene with you in a sidecar, and you have poison blow darts, poison arrow frog blow darts. So you just handle your business.
The stars, the ninja stars, the
You need
outfit.
some shurikens. You need those as well. Some ninja stars. Yeah. Some earrings, maybe some earrings. Joan, take care of business. Done. No one's the wiser.
No one will ever know, and have the ninja stars in this own little, have the special kind of holster that kind of goes around. So when somebody crosses wrong, just throw a ninja star at them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe out of some material that just
Hmm.
melt. It just melts
Yeah,
away. Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what happened.
and the
Ice.
microphone. Yeah,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Microphone's a microphone. Hey, that's what I do for a living.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. Huh? I have no recollection. That's the key. That's the key right there. It's just I have no recollection.
None whatsoever.
That's right.
Mm.
That's exactly right. For all the social warrior cancel people, you have no collection. I have no recollection of anything you're talking about. I'm exempt.
So we got at least another. I want to hit at least 1 hour. So we have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
1 minute.
1 minute. We got more than that, but I try to go for the magic 1 hour.
Well,
I was wondering where the hand was. I hadn't seen it the
yeah,
entire.
it's a mannequin hand. I don't even know where I got. I think I had two of these.
Right.
I gave one to Billy Watson just recently. I think he carries. I always keep it in my little tip can. And it kind of it's a good conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get chips. Got to have the. I call this. This is the fortune cat, but he looks like he's giving the full throttle signal. Full throttle. So I call him full throttle cat. It's a biker thing, I guess. So he's full throttle cat.
Oh my goodness. And you haven't played your washboard, or did you?
I did a little bit.
A little bit.
I have a Kanjura drum that's. Cool thing about this is it's the real ones, the original. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Kanjuras are made out of monitor skin, lizard skin, and they're extinct. You know, they're on the way out. Don't have many of those guys around. And Remo made this skin, so it's synthetic.
Right.
You can play a traditional Kinjira. Normally, you have to have 2 or 3 of these in a bowl of water because the skin gets loose. So you have to put it in water. There's no way to tune it. These synthetic ones are great. This is actually like my favorite drum for the past 4 years or whenever they came out with these. I got one immediately, and I play it all the time. I always have this with me all the time because it's awesome. It's little, and it never goes out of tune. Or you can tune it; it's tunable. But that's a good technology thing. No dead lizards. Doesn't go out of tune. Sounds good.
You know what? We forgot to talk about your reptiles.
Yeah, reptiles are good. I got 2 turtles, Shelly and Tori. They're eating watermelon right now outside because it's summertime. They're supposed to just eat hay and grass, but they eat occasional watermelons and squash, stuff like that. They're doing good. They're going to outlive me, so they're going to inherit the rhythm ranch here. And I'm going to have to figure out, when I'm gone, somebody to run the rhythm ranch because they're going to need hay and food and whatnot. I don't have kids, so
right.
They're my turtles. I'm trying to get an emotional support alligator because there's no reason why I shouldn't have an alligator.
That
right?
might be a bit of a challenge there.
There's a cat on the internet that has one named Wally. And I need an emotional support alligator. I don't see why not. Right? Everybody can just do whatever they want to do nowadays. So I want one of those. I want an alligator. I want to have an alligator here in the studio hanging out.
You might have some obstacles with that,
I don't know. I don't see any negatives.
No, but snap, you have to train. You're going to have to train this alligator to kind of, keep it down, simmer down now.
Don't be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and everything's cool. He'll be well fed. But I'd like to be able to take him everywhere. Why not?
Oh yeah, that's going to pose quite a challenge.
Or it could be people could come out to see him. It could bring people.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I guess so. Enemies, bring your enemies. Yeah, that would work, and let them. That would work.
That could be a future thing. You could have a trap door. People that you don't want around, you just have the trap door and push the button. Down they go.
Oh yeah,
alligator pit, right?
I can see this alligator at the local Costco. You walk, walking around,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Gotta go shopping. Gotta get stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the local grocery store. Just swishing around in the aisles. Just
people bring dogs. People bring other things. Why not an alligator?
That's true. Keeblers get in the way. Poor little Keeblers.
Keebler elves, they might get compromised.
Yeah, they will. They're friendly little things. They don't know any better. They're naive. They don't know. Snap. So, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think we slayed the people.
I think we slayed them too. Yes.
I think they're like, who is this guy? this wacko guy here. Thank you for having me on the show, Dee. Always a pleasure to see you. And I'll be in touch with you for the movie, because you got to be in the movie.
Well, you know how to find me. I'm not that
Okay.
I'm not that difficult to find.
Okay. It's Kumbia Robot, by the way. It's the movie. So it's futuristic, sci-fi, biker kung fu kind of movie. Lots of action, lots of violence, and great music. So that's where you come in.
This has Roger Corman vibes all over it, and I like it.
It's like supposed to take place next year, kind of thing. So
Okay.
with the current how things are now, it's totally relevant to
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff.
One can only hope things will get better.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. If you're a lot of opportunities right now,
Yeah.
take advantage of the situation.
There are a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And who would have thought? And, this show is one of them, because I started out
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
to
There's a
talk.
lot of opportunities.
It sure is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess this concludes our interview for today, I think.
Thanks for having me on, Dee.
It is a pleasure to have you on here. It's good to see you. I hadn't talked to you in a while. I know both kind of been, paths are kind of everywhere, but in the right zone. So I'm glad you were able to come on today and share a bit of your musical history with us. And don't be a stranger. And I'll be waiting on that phone call for the upcoming movie.
You got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Dee.
You're welcome. And this is the radio
See you,
takeover
folks.
with D Rivers. We will see you next time. And I will have a show on tomorrow. So stay tuned. Be on Facebook and you'll find out who that is.